Come on now. Y'all already know what this is. First things first. God did this. Don't get mad with us. I'm your humble host, your man, your myth, your legend, Eric Knight. And we got the one man and the only man that's going to check you into the Heartbreak Hotel. And that's the Heartbreak Prince himself. Look, man, I ain't going to lie. This week has been actually been really good. I ain't gonna WWE, y'all been kind of killing it this week. And I ain't gonna lie. I mean, part of that is because, we seen the ruler, but ah, man, I knew it was crazy when R-Truth was doing it after.
The
Oh
fan that was
man.
doing that bop too
Yeah.
on Smackdown. He
Yeah.
was in it. He was in it all night because he was in there with Trick and Drew too.
Yeah. He was.
I don't know. People commented back. He had the Yeet glasses on.
Yeah, with the dread.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, he was going crazy that night, man. Shout out to that guy. I don't know who he is, but shout out to you, man. You kept it going. Hey, speaking of shout outs, shout out to my man Zach. Okay, giving us the national holiday. Apparently,
Ice
it's
cream for breakfast.
ice cream for
I can deal with
breakfast
that.
day. I can do
I
it.
can deal with that.
I can do it. I can do it. Appreciate as always that giving us the national holiday. But let's go ahead and get started, man. We got to talk about this week, and let's talk about this 2 hours and 30 minutes of fire Monday Night Raw, baby. Monday Night Raw, man. Monday Night Raw. I ain't gonna lie, man. This is actually a pretty good episode, actually. This is actually pretty high. I like this episode for a lot of reasons. There's a few things, of course, y'all know I'm gonna have a problem with. We're gonna talk about that going down the line. But let's go ahead and talk about what happened starting off the show. Because they kicked this show off. Okay, first of all, Braun Breaker. This man, I ain't even gonna lie. This was crazy to me. Okay, he came in, started throwing stuff around, throwing the table. I said, "Who are you trying to be, Trick? Come on, I want my title. I want my title. Come on, Ava, I want my title." Man, told Adam Pearce, "Screw you. Who's the masked man?" Asking all these questions. Logan Paul, Austin Theory, Bronson Reed, Paul Heyman. They come to try to calm Braun Breaker down. Paul Heyman is demanding to have Adam Pearce come out and give an explanation as to why, Braun Breaker was the number 2 pick and who was the masked man. Adam Pearce comes out, okay? Adam Pearce comes out and he says, "Look, I told you like I told everybody else. It was picked at random." And the last time we checked, the last person that was the masked man was Austin Theory. So of course, everybody looking at Austin Theory, everybody saying this. I honestly think it's Logan Paul. Okay, Logan Paul's been the most sus to me out of this whole situation. But then after that, I mean, there's still no explanation. LA Knight comes out, wrecks shop with the steel chair, beats the hell out of Logan Paul, beats the hell out of Austin Theory, runs out. I said, "All right, LA Knight, this is what I'm talking about." But we'll see what happens with that because honestly, when it comes to the Vision and their shenanigans, I actually have no idea what they're going to be doing with that. Then we flash forward. Man, come on now. This was a pretty good moment right here. I ain't gonna lie. We had Javon Evans going up against El Grande Americano, and y'all know how it is with that. Hey, hey, yeah, come on. But you see the Americanos giving El Grande Americano the steel plate, okay? Trying to, use that as a good old weapon to beat Javon. But the original El Grande Americano comes out. Thank you. Or should I say, gracias. Man, I loved it. And it got to the point where Javon gets the advantage and gets the dub of El Grande Americano. Then we flash forward. Man. What's going on, BJ? Good to see you on here with us. This man, Gunther.
What up,
Okay,
BJ?
Gunther. My man BJ, man. Good to see you up on here watching us. Gunther coming out, talking about how he's the career killer, talking about how he beat AJ Styles, beat John Cena, beat Goldberg. Then Dragon Lee comes out. I mean, I mean, at this point, I feel like he got some hits in, man. Dragon Lee was definitely working Gunther at one point, but it got to the point to where it looked like this in the end, man. Come on. Come on, man. This was crazy. Now, just real quick, got to talk about this real quick. 'Cause some of these people have been kind of pissing me off real quick about this whole thing with the Gunther situation, the spot that him and Dragon Lee had. They keep trying to, they say stuff will happen with that. Then, of course, when we go on to Dynamite, we see what Brody Lee did to MJF. Everybody's trying to say, AEW copied off of, WWE with the whole Brody King and the Gunther situation. Let me tell y'all something real quick, just so y'all know. If some of y'all that don't know, Brody King has been doing that for years. For years. Okay. This was something new coming from Gunther. All right. Yeah, I love the spot. I like how it looked. But the fact that we're seeing these comparisons, man, y'all got to stop with this. Y'all got to stop. Like, people don't do this in wrestling all the time. But again, y'all sitting there talking about, oh, Gunther did it first. It's got to stop. We not doing that. But yeah, I thought this looked good. This looked good for Gunther. I think at this point now, the man is looking strong, man. And I don't want to see him win a title, though. I just don't want to see him go for a title right now. I think where he's at right now, kind of just chilling, trying to be a career killer, trying to take out these. I can't even put quotations because they are legends. Taking out these, well, two of them are. The other one I think is questionable. Especially we're talking about the Mr. Who's Next man. But yeah, man, I thought this was a good segment. I think so far they got Gunther looking strong. So, I mean, it's Dragon Lee, though. So it's like, I get it. That was AJ Lee's tag team partner. At the same time, man, we got to get somebody more serious for this. Heartbreak Prince, what are your thoughts, man? What you think?
So far, my thoughts of Raw, I thought it was very dry. I didn't. There was like specific parts of Raw that were great. The ending was phenomenal. But I don't know if it was the crowd or whatever. I just didn't feel like there was no energy there at all. And I guess because we've been overseas for the past month, and every week the crowd is bringing energy. This week they just felt very dry, kind of out of it. And like you hadn't got to it yet, but like with the Bella Twins, granted,
Oh my God.
I
Yeah, we're gonna talk
understand.
about that.
Not too many people get ready to pop for the Bella Twins, but they were out there trying to cut a promo, and it was just so quiet. It's like I heard the crickets in the daggone stadium. That's how quiet it was, and I was just like, are they just not doing it? Are we just not happy to have Raw back? In the U.S. in Philadelphia, whatever. It just seemed so dry. But Gunther's spot, that was phenomenal, just to cover some of the stuff that you did do. That was great. I feel like we're getting the El Grande Americano thing a little too late. I wish we could have had something like this. Granted, the real El Grande Americano just seemed to disappear from television all of a sudden. And so, but now that the real El Grande Americano is back, I'm actually looking forward to a little bit of a feud between the El Grandes, because I want to know who the real El Grande is. I wanted to see one of them unmasked. I don't know if this needs to be a WrestleMania match per se, but I am excited to see the OG El Grande Americano back. But outside of that, man, the thing with Braun, having him just kind of go crazy this week, just flipping stuff over, yelling and screaming all in the background, and just tossing, destroying stuff. It was okay. I still just don't know. I just don't know what to do with the vision. At this point, I don't know what you're gonna do with Braun, especially not after the way the Raw ended. There's no way right now you can see Braun in that picture. Like, that was they made money just in that one promo at the end of the night alone. So it's like back to the drawing board with Braun, and just the vision as a whole probably. And I just wish I knew like what the answer is or would be to kind of really just make the vision feel, more entertaining and more interesting. But it is what it is. Lastly, real quick. Well, no, I'll wait because I can see you about to talk about it in a minute.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We gotta talk about it. Yeah, let's go ahead and get right into it, man. The War Raiders. Okay, the War Raiders came out. All right. They were prepared for a match. Tag team match as we all thought. But it wasn't no tag team that came out. All right, look. Y'all know who came out. Come on. Come on, man. The crowd. Pop. You know what? You know what we got out of this. You know what we got. We got a certain kind of chills. Come on, man. That's some damn rock chills. Man, come on. Uber came in, wrecked shop on the War Raiders, and honestly, come on. This is how it was looking at the end, man.
Danced up. Yeah.
Come on, man. The ruler.
Danced up the ruler.
I loved it. I
Just
loved it
destroyed
seeing
it.
from Oba, man. He came out with the walk, the strut. I feel like the
Appreciate
chants get louder and louder every time
And
he
louder.
pops up.
They buying it. They buying into the Oba Femi. Yeah, they buying into the Oba Femi. But yeah, I love it, man. I love the way they booked them because it was kind of unexpected. I'm thinking it's gonna be a tag team match. I'm like, man, they ain't had the War Raiders on TV in a minute, and and I'm like, who they getting ready to challenge? I said, well, it's that about that season where they getting ready to start pulling people out, like talent out, and setting up stuff for. I'm thinking like next month's pay-per-view and going into WrestleMania since the War Raiders are out here. I'm sitting here, Oba Femi. I'm like, now I know he's not about to go in here and face both of these people in this ring. Man, they booked him so well. That was excellent. And then it was, although I hate to see it for veterans like War Raiders, like a squash match, like it was. But I mean, when you talk about the ruler, I mean, you got to show his dominance, and they did one hell of a job doing that. Just perfect, perfect. Love what they did. I want to give credit their flowers on that one. That was a very good way to start the introduction of Oba outside of the Rumble on his first debut on Raw. So yeah, that was great. That was phenomenal.
Yeah, man. Because I mean, and I think that so far, I think they're booking him well. Like you had him, do stuff in the Rumble. The man was there since one. I think he came out was like when the next entrance was coming out, it was probably like maybe 20 or 21. So had the five. I think he definitely should have double-digit eliminations. But I'm okay with, but I'm still okay with what he did in the Rumble. And I think so far this whole week, man, I can't wait to talk
even
about
better
him.
Yesterday.
Yeah.
They did even better yesterday.
Even better.
They topped Monday.
They sure did, man. And I loved it. But we got to talk about this next one, man. And I know you're going to want to talk about this. That man, Finn Balor. Okay. Look, Finn cut this promo, man. He said he's not going to stop. He said he's tired of giving the respect, and the respect is not coming back to him. I said, Finn, you 100% right about that. You have every reason to talk that talk. But what was interesting about this, he called out CM Punk. He called out and talked about everything that he has to do in becoming the man and doing bad things. I really wondered about this, man. This was something I said, okay, we might have something. I'm starting to think, man. And I had said this the other day on the Square Circle Boys podcast. Shout out to the Square Circle. I think what might be the case for this situation, even with Roman and Punk, and we're going to talk about that, I think Finn is going to be a third man in this situation. I really think so. I think because the way this is kind of looking how it's shaping up, it reminds me of the Rhea and Bianca feud that happened then, and then Io kind of just jumped right in. So I'm starting to think this might be the same situation with Finn, where Finn has entered into this. Now, granted, I thought to myself, to have, we might possibly be having a triple threat with Cody, uh, the man with the magic boot, Jacob Fatu, and Cody Rhodes. So I think with all three of those men, with Cody, Drew, and Jacob, I think that might be a triple threat match. And I thought to myself, well, I don't know. They would have two triple threat matches for the main titles. That would be crazy, but it would only make sense if you got Finn in this, man. I just think he's got a lot in it, but I don't know. There's a big possibility, and I just hope y'all don't drop the ball on this, man, because Finn it's cooking. In my opinion, it's cooking. So don't don't y'all do a start and stop. I swear to God, don't y'all do that. Don't play with us. Don't dangle the carrot. Now y'all about to do something with Finn, and then y'all do absolutely nothing when it comes to Mania. So we'll see what happens. Heartbreak Prince, what are your thoughts, man? What you think?
I was so excited when I saw them doing the little vignettes with Finn and the way it was, being shot and him addressing CM Punk. And I was thinking, I had that moment of excitement, that little bit of excitement right there where I'm like, yeah, okay, they're making up for him, like they're doing it. Finn wasn't in the Royal Rumble. This is gonna be like they're building something here where they're gonna get to a Finn Balor versus CM Punk for the championship. Maybe this is something that they're gonna take into WrestleMania. We're gonna go down this journey of what's gonna, bring back the Finn of old. And all my hopes went out the window at that at the end of Raw. I I feel like if they do, and I have thought, just been thinking about it, and like you just said a minute ago about a triple threat, but I'm like, no, I mean, I don't think there's a need to interject Finn in a triple threat at
Mm.
WrestleMania and kind of run back a similar way you did WrestleMania last year. There's already going to be a triple threat. We're thinking for the undisputed championship. I wouldn't copy the same format for the heavyweight championship because then you're watching the same match as the main event 2 nights in a row. Not the same match. Obviously, it's different wrestlers, but the same type of match. And I think you just would be better off letting Roman and Punk cook in what they have going and brewing versus interjecting Finn, because now it's like, well, where do you fit in this? Because the way they cut that promo at the end of Raw, it was done so well, and it really kind of blurred the lines of between maybe what people really think or what they really think about each other and their career and career paths. That I just don't think Finn's story fits within that. And so I'm seeing Finn being chalked up to the Elimination Chamber, and as the title match, you get the title match from CM Punk at the Elimination Chamber and probably lose it. But it doesn't mean that they can't continue to build something to maybe later in the year where we get something at the next big thing like SummerSlam, or they could put him in Money in the Bank and maybe he's the Money in the Bank winner, something like that. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know. It the end of Raw really just changed everything, the way I viewed everything when it came to Roman, CM Punk, and Finn Balor. But I am happy that they're putting energy into Finn Balor, and that maybe we're getting ready to watch this journey, and I'm just going to try to sit back and just enjoy the journey that that they may be taking us on with Finn Balor. And then when it happens, or if it happens, because listen, I'm boo-hooing here over Finn Balor. There's people boo-hooing over LA Knight that hasn't had his opportunity. There's people out here, boo-hooing for just a number of wrestlers that they probably feel like should be in that main event picture or should have had their championship opportunities. Sami Zayn's of the world, things of that nature. So it is what it is. It's only 2 belts. Everybody can't be champion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I feel that, man. Yeah, it was definitely something I thought about because it was just the way CM Punk, and we definitely got to talk about that in a minute. It was
Now,
just the way
I'm
how
sorry.
CM, yeah,
I'm about to say, and it's not saying you might end up being right. They might find a way to weave Finn into this. I mean, because they really did EO out of nowhere. And when you think about last year, it wasn't a whole lot there. And then all of a sudden, EO won the championship on a random Monday Night Raw. And it was like, well, we thought we had money with just Bianca and
and Rhea.
and Rhea. So then it became like, how why make this decision? So it can happen. They do strange things.
They do. They do. Yeah, and that's what I was kind of thinking about because even even like when CM Punk and Roman was talking, and before he even addressed Roman, the first person he talked about to the camera was about Finn
Yeah.
Balor. So that's when I was like, maybe so, maybe so.
Yeah.
We might. I don't know, man. It's a toss up. It's definitely a toss up. What's up,
Good morning,
Nicole?
love.
Good to see you. Good to see you watching as always. But yeah, let's talk about this next match that happened because this was actually pretty interesting. We had Penta. Okay, if you don't love Penta, why are you even here? All right. Penta going up against Bronson Reed. Now, this was interesting. LA Knight aiding Bronson Reed because you know how it is with the division. LA Knight coming up being the evening factor. Okay, hitting the BFT on Bronson Reed with the steel chair to the point to where Penta wins via countout. I was like, all right. Not bad. Not bad. I'm still trying to figure out what we're doing with this, though. Then we flash forward. Oh, God, bro. I just.
That
Florida.
crowd was so dead, man.
Damn!
Cuba.
Just 1 minute. Oh,
You gotta be
I
kidding
never
me.
thought.
Hell, I'm going to even say it. Hell.
I'm fighting for my life. Y'all killing me with this.
Man, I've been told y'all, man. I have been said this. I have, you know, it's one thing when I got Nikki Bella fatigue. I'm to the point now I have complete Bella twin fatigue. I can't with this, man. Nikki and Brie Bella talking about, yeah, we're the first tag team. Whatever. Okay. Then y'all out here. First of all, I love the crowd. I love how as soon as they got up in there, y'all booed them. Thank you. You booed them. You had to boo them off rip. You started booing them. I said, all right, I'm all for it. You know, then Nikki's like, oh, is it me or is it because the Philadelphia Eagles aren't in the going to the Super Bowl? All right, whatever. Cheap little heat. All right, whatever. Now y'all want to talk about being the champs? Please, hell no. Please. Take your ass. Bring. You need to be at home with your mans. I don't know what you're doing. You got kids. You need to be at home with Brian Danielson. What is your problem? What are you doing back over here? I'm surprised they even let you back in after what he said, and he even say nothing crazy. Man said, I ain't think WrestleMania 30 was my biggest, most accomplishing moment. The people was upset about that. I'm surprised they even let you in the door, especially because of what he's doing and what company he at. But they let you come back, and you said, "Let's be tag champs." Take your ass home, please. To y'all, I can't do this, man. Look, these talented women we got in the back, all these tag teams, all these young women that we got, whether it's coming from a NXT and a lot of women that's still on the main roster right now. You mean to tell me you said let's bring back the Bella twins? Hell no. Hell no. If anything, I'd have been okay if you brought back the Bella twins to face for the tag titles during Evolution. I feel like that's the only time I would have been okay with that. But not now. Especially not right now. And you bet not have them winning at WrestleMania. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to be the first person to boo. And I hope the rest of the crowd follows up.
That needs to be the bougie bully in Nia Jax.
Come on, man. Come on, man. I'd love.
That's
Thank
how it
you.
needs to be for them.
I just don't get it, man. Like, what are we doing with them? Come on, not the Bella. You can look. I
Their
don't want to
promo
book
was
nor
even
touch.
awkward.
It was.
Yeah,
I
their
don't want to
promo
look
was
or
awkward
touch.
too.
Yeah, it just. I don't know. It felt forced. It didn't really feel like it was genuine, and I didn't feel no realness out of it. I don't know, man. It just. I wasn't feeling that. I wasn't. Usually, you should have seen me at home at Heartbreak Prince. I was sitting there throwing fists, looking like Cuba Gooding Jr. and Boys in the Hood. I was sick of it. I said, "Oh my God! Like what is?" Anyway, let's get to the next best part. Okay, This was very interesting right here. Liv, Liv Morgan. All right, I love to see this. Liv talking about she's not gonna choose a champion yet. She still has time. She said we need to celebrate, Raquel. Raquel comes out. Raquel having a street fight, coming up with Stephanie Valkyrie. But Raquel asked Liv, why did you push me out of the Rumble? Liv said, look, we all have opportunities, and we all said whoever wins the Royal Rumble, the Judgment Day wins. I said, okay, I like how you did that, Liv. Raquel wasn't too sold. She smiled, but I said, nah, we know that breakup is coming. All right, and then we flash forward to the street fight with Stephanie Valkyrie and Big Sexy Raquel. Now, this was interesting. Raquel told Liv that I want you guys to stay in the back. Liv, genuinely trying to help Raquel. Okay, trying to help Raquel. Tries to aid her. Doesn't work. Stephanie Valkyrie uses that distraction, gets the advantage. Then Roxanne Perez comes out. Roxanne tries to help. She gets put through a table to the point where, honestly, Raquel almost had it to the point when she picked up Stephanie Valkyrie, and we thought she was going through a table. Stephanie Valkyrie reverses that, okay, hits Raquel with a Hurricane Rana through the table, then hits her finisher. And honestly, that's how I was looking. I said, well, Raquel, we know that dream is gone. But then we got to flash forward to this moment right here. And Heartbreak Prince, love your take on Exclusive Takes talking about this. This was complete fire. I think this, and a lot of people would agree, this was the best part of Raw. Okay. CM Punk. Okay, first of all, even before that, Roman Reigns came out. You know how it goes. Throwing the ones up. Okay. Roman Reigns comes out, talks about who he wants to choose. All right. CM Punk comes out. First thing, and I was talking about this earlier, first thing he does is address Finn Balor. Tells Finn Balor, look, I'll be waiting for you. I said, okay. All right, Punk. So what you about to do? Then addresses Roman. Tells Roman, you can choose who you want. You can choose the easy route. Choose Drew McIntyre. I said, come on, bro. Stop playing. We know Drew ain't the easy route. He's in my opinion, and we really talking, in my opinion, I think CM Punk is the easy route. They be talking about frail Phil. Okay, I wasn't even gonna say, but I was like, nah, bro, he ain't gonna do that. Yeah,
Call that man.
I love it, man. But I love this, man. CM Punk telling Roman, you can choose the title that made the man, Drew McIntyre, or you can climb the top of the mountain and face the best in the world. I said, I ain't gonna say you're the best anymore, but we'll see what happens. But Roman, I love this about Roman, man. Roman said that he always hated CM Punk. He said, yeah, I can see you coming to all these cities. He said, because you took 10 years off. He said, so I'll be trying to get as much as I could in too. I said, oh, okay. Yeah, Roman, talk that talk. He said, you made my life harder going on your friend's podcast, saying all this, that, and the third. He said, I'm not choosing. He said, I could choose Drew. He said, yeah, because that's the main champion. He said, but I'm choosing you because I absolutely hate you. And when I beat you at WrestleMania, you will acknowledge me. Drop the mic, boom. And this is the finish right here. Man, I love this. I love this, Roman. This is
Mr. Exclusive. What's up, by the way? Thanks for checking this out. I know you're busy.
Course. Yeah,
still finding time for the Knights.
As always, man. Gotta love to see it. This was good, though. I think, Raw as a whole, best parts of the night, of course, the ruler. Okay. Definitely love to see the ruler going crazy. I definitely even say, even with Raquel and the Liv situation, love to see how that storyline was kind of progressing. And of course, hey, that match with Raquel and Stephanie, banger match right there. And then, of course, Roman. Roman and Punk, man. I love this. This was completely, it felt personal. Just like you were saying before, it felt like they blurred the lines a lot. Um, I can't wait to see what they talk about next week at this point. I'm hoping it's not one of those things where they just had this one and then we don't see nothing like, no face off of them for another week, another few weeks. I don't want to see that. Let's keep this rivalry going. Let's keep the build up going. We're looking, it's February 7th now. WrestleMania is what? April 19th, April 20th.
Yeah.
So yeah, we need to keep this train going, boy. But yeah, I love this. But yeah, CM Punk, I think for me, right, him calling himself the best in the world, I think I'm fatigued off of that, bro. I ain't even gonna lie. I'm fatigued off of that. I can't. It's like for me, I can't keep saying CM Punk is the best in the world. Like, granted, I get it. I know the work that he put in. I love what he's done. But I feel like now at the tail end of his career, I can't say that I'm like, oh yeah, CM Punk is giving me a banger every time. And it's not like I'm not hating on CM Punk, man. I just don't feel like I feel like when he's in the match, other people are carrying him. And I feel like just because, I think the age is catching up to him, the father time. I think it's just, I can see at times he looks like he's getting a little windy, he's getting a little tired. Um, but I do think, it's time for CM Punk. He's definitely going to drop this title to Roman. And I think when Roman has the title, again, I don't think we need to have another 3-4 year run. But but I do think he needs to have, really good opponents going down the line. And I think Roman's going to do that. So we'll see what happens with it. But again, yeah, I'm excited for this. I think this is the best thing to see. And I'm wondering too, man, like, really wonder this, right? If Seth wasn't the one that got injured, right, and CM Punk wasn't the champion, would this be a Roman versus Seth situation? And would this be, Seth talking to Roman or, Roman talking to Seth? I thought about that because that is one thing we have still never seen. Not the 17, but yeah, that's one thing we have not seen. Was really, Roman versus Seth at WrestleMania, and that's always been a build that they have been trying to build for the longest. And granted, yes, we've seen the triple threat, but we've never really seen the one-on-one with Roman and Seth. So I wonder maybe, I don't know. And again, I'm not throwing Finn. I think we can still. There's a possibility we might throw Finn in, but then I still think about Seth. Seth is still, trying to get back. And who's to say Seth might not be, Seth might be the one entered into this to this whole situation just because of how everything ended last year at WrestleMania. Him with the chair. And the chair instead of the chair could be a title. So, I don't know. There's a lot of things in the air right now. I'm very skeptical as to what's going to happen the next few weeks, and I'm curious, man. This could be cooking up to something. We'll see what happens. Heartbreak Prince, what's your thoughts, man? What you think?
Yeah, this right here was a phenomenal promo between the two to kind of end the show. Like when Roman Reigns won the Rumble, and I talked about this in exclusive takes. We were all like, okay, it's a safe pick. It's Roman Reigns. Okay, we're gonna get Roman Reigns again. He's main eventing another, WrestleMania. He is the tribal chief, so it's like you're not upset about it because it's Roman Reigns, and we love Roman Reigns. But for me, if you're talking about where I lie and like the excitement of it, it's like, well, it's CM Punk, it's Roman Reigns. It's going to be a decent match. It's not going to be bad. So I'm somewhere around that 5, 6, about the match. Like, all right, it's a safe. A bet. But this promo here really changed, or as I said, moved the needle for me. And it wasn't even really because of CM Punk. It was because of Roman Reigns.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I say that, and I don't think I did a good job in exclusive takes talking about that too, or talking about it, is the fact that we never really see and hear like the more internal thoughts of the tribal chief, if that makes any sense. Like he's usually just strolling down to the ring. He's quiet. You know, he's going to go to the ring. He's going to handle business. His wise man is going to take care of everything. You don't really get his deep emotional thoughts about the opponent he's facing. And even when it is somebody of name, he makes a mockery out of him. Like when he faced Drew McIntyre and said, Drew, I actually like you, but you're a good number 2, And so, you think of stuff like that. But when it came to this promo here between him and CM Punk, we understand CM Punk is phenomenal on the mic. And for a minute, I was a little nervous about Roman Reigns being able to go toe to toe with the CM Punk, because we know the crowd is always behind CM Punk. We know that man can deliver a pipe bomb, like that without even trying, without even thinking about it. And he was kind of delivering that when he was talking about, you had the title for 1,300 and some odd days. I had it for 400 and some odd days. Just because you did it longer doesn't mean you did it better. That type of thing. And the crowd's like, oh, everybody's like, it's all of that, going in there. And Roman is just standing there. And I'm like, this is going to be like, what is Roman going to put together to really like lock in, him and submit his status as where he is on the current, I don't want to say Mount Rushmore, but whatever mountain they're building now of like this generation of stars, where he's going to, submit his legacy. And I thought he did a phenomenal job with his comeback. And he talked about, me copying you. I learned, what not to do, because he talked about CM Punk getting upset, taking his ball and leaving. That was a great comeback. When he talked about how the CM Punk had earlier mentioned, like, how he bought Seth and Roman into the WWE, and Roman flipped that on his head. And it's like, who do you think they came to when you wanted to come back? And I'm like, ooh, because it's like that. Oh my gosh, the tables have turned, because Roman was not, what he was when CM Punk was there, but he had to learn and become and live up to all of the pressure that was put on him to be the new face of the WWE, because your John Cena's were gone, because your CM Punks were gone, your Undertakers were aging, the Big Slow, they were being, they were getting him, wanting him to, to go. And so Roman Reigns was really thrust on us, and we resented that, and so, for him to reach this level now to where CM Punk has left, talked more trash about the company, gone to and represented their rival, if you want to say that without being canceled, AEW, and started wrestling there in that promotion, and then for him to kind of have whatever issues he had at AEW and have to leave and come back, and now Roman's the big dog. He's actually lived up to that moniker, and them to come to him, leadership, to say, hey, we, CM Punk, we're thinking about bringing him back. What do you think? And he's like, sure, that's fine. He gave the blessing, whatever. But we know how Seth feels about it. But we never knew what Roman would have thought. Like, it never would have dawned on me that they would have gone to Roman Reigns and said, what about bringing back CM Punk? But we know Seth despises him. We've known that forever. And Seth may be a little bit more overt with his actions of just dislike for CM Punk. But to my knowledge and my memory, I have never really seen Roman Reigns' reaction to CM Punk. And just to kind of wrap it all up, to hear him get personal, I hate saying it because it's almost like, these, it could be a work. It's a work, you probably know behind the scenes, these guys may have a lot of respect for each other, but it did give that feeling that there is a little bit of dislike there. There's a little bit of something there that Roman Reigns is not satisfied with, because you think about CM Punk coming back into the company and kind of how he is. And Roman Reigns talked about him with the Z-Bros and the punch, and then him mocking him when he was carrying the title up the ramp and all that kind of stuff. You could tell there's some there, and Roman kind of let it out. And to me, it felt like I was peeking behind the emotion of Roman Reigns and how he really felt about CM Punk. And that, to me, is what sent it over, because you just don't see that from Roman Reigns. He's been the tribal chief. He doesn't really get emotional about anybody. He what is it? Smash him, stack him, pin him. That's what he's been doing. He's been levels above everybody else. He ran through the whole entire WWE roster. So like, he never had to really share his emotions about anybody, because it was just put him in a ring, line him up. I'll take care of it. And then, I'm going to continue reigning as champion. This right here felt personal. And I like the fact that it had that vibe to it. And that's just that gave me the excitement. It's what gave me those
Chills, boy.
Chills. Because when he said, to the best in the world, because he always talked about the best in the world. We get in the ring at WrestleMania, you will acknowledge me. And it's like, if it made it feel like that was the last thing he needed to do before he could just cement himself in he's already great, but just in the greatness of wrestling is have the person that brought him in have to now turn around and acknowledge, his greatness. And I just think there's something there to just, even I think about it now, I get like hype about it. Like that was just a dope line, to tell CM Punk, who's always out here talking about being the best in the world, who fans just love and adore no matter what. And it's like he can do no wrong, even when he's pushing little kids. And it's just, I loved it. I just loved it. And for me, that just took the needle. And I'm like, all right, now I'm at about an 8 for this match. Y'all still got 2 more months to deliver some greatness, and I'm here for it if they could just capture this momentum. Too. One last thing, also, I liked how CM Punk also, it was kind of like they say, life is a cycle. I remember people getting on The Rock for leaving to go to Hollywood. I remember John Cena getting on The Rock for that, and then. Seeing like, I will never leave. I love this business. I will always be, in the WWE, whatever. Gave that whole promo. And then years later, now he's making movies. He's leaving for Hollywood, that type of thing. And then CM Punk is coming in and he's telling Roman Reigns, who Roman Reigns got on Cena about, you Hollywood, John. You don't, you said you love this business. You always be here. Now you making movies and whatever. And now Roman Reigns is doing the same thing. So it's kind of like, CM Punk hitting on that. It's like, man, this is a cycle. They keep doing this for all the main stars. Like, once you get to that level, like, yeah, I'm going to Hollywood.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Hey, that was a great take, man. That was a great take, man. Oh, man.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Hey, we
passionate. Sorry, I'm just passionate about that. It was just, I love when WWE can do stuff like this and they can hit on on something like I said, I don't know if creative really wrote this down for them or not. I think maybe, okay, hey, this is what we want you guys to talk about. Or just maybe we just like, hey, we got 2 great, professionals, put them in the ring and let them cut promos. They've done this long enough. And I think it just captured, it was just magic. It was just great. It's probably one of the best promos I've seen since the CM Punk John Cena promo, where John Cena was sitting on the turnbuckle, just dropping a pipe bomb on CM Punk while he's just laying there through the Slim Jim table. Like that was just there was another promo. Oh, but fear me. Oh, but fear me. and Ricky Saints. That promo was fire. But it's just every now and then and again, you get these promos that are just really good. And it just really changes how you look at the match. And like I said in the video, it's like my Dallas Cowboys where you're out, but somehow they find a way to just pull you back in,
Hey, I feel that one, man. Oh, man. But, we talked about some of the great things that happened with Monday Night Raw. Now, it's time to talk about that man, Sean, cooking it up with NXT, baby. Man, NXT, man. NXT. Sean, you cooked up as usual. Man, I love this one. And I got to talk about a few things that made me extremely happy because this was a great show of NXT, man. They kicked this show off, okay, with the triple threat match. All right, with Izzy Dane going up against Thea Hale and the Latina Lola Vice. Now, this was interesting for many reasons why. Okay, Lola getting knocked out of the ring. Izzy almost actually tapping to the point when she fell. Actually, Thea Hale hitting her, I guess, in a way, a coffin drop on Izzy Dane. Izzy Dane rolling to the end of the ring, and actually avoiding the pin, but started to pull the apron up. And then who comes out when they see Lola Vice outside the ring? My girl Lonnie, man. Look, this was good. Okay. Getting the attack on Lola, taking the ladder, slamming it on her hand. Right to the point where, Lola ain't gonna be able to knock nobody out. That's what Lonnie said. I said, go ahead, man. And I love to see this. This right here. Oh, man, you want to talk about aura? You want to talk about chills? Because that's what I got off of this. My girl Lonnie is really her. Come on, man. I loved it. But to the point where Izzy Dane gets the advantage and gets the pin on Thea Hale. And Izzy Dane still retains, man. This was actually a really good match. Then we flash forward to the Don, Tony D'Angelo. Now, look, I thought this was good, man. At one point, I remember Mrs. Who was talking about this for a while. I did not want to hear Tony D'Angelo talk, and not no, negative reasons. I just like the fact of the whole mystique of the NXT Sting. I liked it, but Tony D'Angelo comes out, talks about what he went through, how he felt a year ago, how he was at his happiest. He had people he could trust, and how it's not the same for him anymore. I said, yeah, I feel that, Don. I feel you, man. And then to the point to where he says that Dark State ruined his life. But he says that this isn't about vengeance. This is about punishment. I said, okay, Tony, I see what you're talking about. I see what you're doing. Then we flash forward. Man, this is another good match right here. We had Elio LaFleur beating Charlie Dempsey in the speed tournament match. Now, again, this was another setup. I think they are setting my man Charlie Dempsey up, okay, to be that next staple in what I love the name of it, in the birthright. I think, man, I see it. I see it happen. Sean, you cooking up with this, and I'm gonna be patient with this. Then we flash forward. Man, come on. This was greatness amongst us right here. And it's crazy. This was actually crazy. And it's crazy because one woman that's in here, y'all know how I feel about her. But we had the Elegance brand going up against Zaruka. Okay. Now, this was interesting. Zarya, okay, having her problems with Soul. This whole thing, she's telling Soul, you're the one that left. You snuck off to go to the Rumble. This, that, and the third. I said, man, come on, y'all gotta chill with this. A lot of disconnection. But then it got to the point to where Zarya is getting upset with Soul, but somehow they still pull it off together and get a few moves in. And then it got to the point to where I couldn't believe this. Zarya got hit with a freaking Soul Snatcher. I said, man, this is crazy right here. This is insane. But to the point to where the Elegance brand gets the dub over Zaruka. Now, I got to talk about this real quick because I feel like we've been talking about this whole thing for a year and a half now. Zarya. I like the fact that you don't. It seems like now you starting to pick up what I've been putting down to you for the last few months. Seems like now you done started wanting to get something for yourself, and it's about freaking time, Zarya. Look, I'm gonna say this about it. All right, I'm not gonna say this storyline is a little overdue. Like we should have kind of been on this path, but maybe Sean, I give you the respect because this was the slowest burning storyline we have had with this with Zarya, with Soruka, that whole thing. So I'm like, all right, man, look, you was killing me with this, but now I'm intrigued. You got me intrigued in this. Sean, you got your damn thumb on the heartbeat, man. Look, I think this was good. And this there's something that also progressed later on, and we're gonna talk about that too. But I think so far, I like the fact that Zarya is now getting pissed off at Soul. I like the fact that Soul is like, look, it ain't my fault that I'm great. Don't be mad they calling me. Don't be mad they picking me. I love this. I love this. Heartbreak Prince, what's your thoughts, man? What you think?
It is a slow burn, but it's like Zarya's eyes are starting to open. I'm a Sol Ruka fan, so to me, I'm happy for everything that Sol Ruka gets. That's been my girl for since I laid eyes on her and saw the Soul Snatcher. But I think this right here, eh, it's about that time. I'm glad that it seems like the light bulb is going off as Zarya's starting to recognize, and that we might be getting ready to get a feud out of this. I'm just going to keep plugging in to see like when this really actually breaks down and when Zarya actually goes on the offensive against Sol Ruka. And I do wish there was a title involved some way somehow for these two ladies, but that would be an ideal like match between those two. But yeah, it's great. It's good. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah,
stuff. We
man.
getting there. We getting there.
We
It's
getting
happening.
there. We getting there. And we're gonna talk about what happened after in a little bit. Let's go ahead and talk about this match, right? Come on, man. Stacks. Lex. I'm not calling them by their names no more. I'm calling them the birthright. This is what they've been calling themselves. Okay. You had the birthright beating Chase U. I said, man, look at Ariana Grace, man. This is just good stuff. I'm loving everything they doing. But let's flash forward because this is very important here from what we've talked about with Zarya and Soul. Zarya, first of all, JC Jane came out first. All right. She was out talking about, what she was doing in the Rumble, how great she was in the Rumble. And she said every time she turned around, all people could talk about was Soul Ruka this, Soul Ruka that. And who came out first? Zarya. Zarya came out and said, look, I know how you feel about about Soul Ruka, but it's my time to get the top. I say, come on, Zarya. It's about damn time. Kendall Gray comes out with Ren Sinclair. Okay, she says, look, I was close to beating you. The only reason why I didn't beat you is because of your stooges that you got. And she says, I want to run it back. Then Zarya tells Kendall Gray, you might not want to get in my way while I'm this pissed off. Ren says, I said, Ren, come on. And I don't know why Ren sounded different to me. But Ren says, why would she step back? She deserves it. She's earned it. Zarya says, look, she tells Ren, I know how you feel about, Ren, but I'm not going to settle to a cheerleader and her little sidekick. Kendall Gray says, well, if we're being honest, if me and Ren had that title opportunity, we wouldn't have squandered it like you did. I said, oh my God. This is see, Zarya. This is why I've been telling you to get on your game. Because you see what happens? You see what happens when you start losing the way you do? They start throwing it in your face. This is why, Zarya. This is why I be telling you. Anyway, but then Soul gonna come out. Soul comes out and tries to be not even the referee, the peacemaker in a way. She says, I know Kendall wants an opportunity for that title. I know Ren wants an opportunity for that title. She named everybody but Zarya. Then says, well, some people just can't get mad about getting opportunities. Zarya. I said, oh, okay. Okay. I said, yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Now we're getting pissed off. I love this. But then Zarya says to Soul, well, maybe because she doesn't have friends that sneak off and go to the Rumble. I said, okay. Okay. But then Robert Stone comes out and he lays out a challenge. And he says that all the women in the room, well, of course, except for, you know, except for, what was my girls? My girls from Fatal Influence. Besides them, there's going to be a qualifying match, and whoever wins that match will face JC Jane for the title. I said, oh, we could be having something here with this. But we got to get to this main event. The main event. See what happened, man.
Well, I believe in Joe Hendry.
Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry. Man, this ladder match was good, man. We had Keanu Carver, the YN Crash out. Y'all know how we feel about him. Ricky Saints, Joe Hendry, okay, Sean Legacy, okay, my man, Drake Maverick, okay. This was a banger match, and Shiloh Hill. All right, I love the spot that they even had to the point where they tried to bury Keanu Carver. I said, man, y'all crazy for this, but this, the finish right here. We had Joe Hendry and Ricky Saints at the end towards doing kind of a, I guess that's what Triple H wanted with the LA Knight situation with them going back and forth. I said, this is interesting. But with Joe Hendry hitting Ricky Saints with the title, and now Joe Hendry being your new NXT champion, and this is the finish right here. Now, I'm not going to lie. I think NXT, of course, over-delivered as normal, Sean. You cooked up. I'd be capping if I didn't say you didn't do a great, phenomenal job, and I ain't talking AJ Styles. Man, this was good, man. And this was good from start to finish. Triple threat match, seeing my girl Lonnie, okay, doing what she did to Lola Vice, the Latina. I said, man, this is what I'm talking about, Lonnie. You are her. Hey, just like what Trick told you a month or two ago, he said, hey, just remember, you her. She said, I am her. I said, you right, Lonnie, you are. She said that so innocently. Now it's to the point, hey, that woman has become a demon type. I mean, come on, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Come on. Really her. Come on, I love it. But yeah, that was probably one of my favorite things. Tony D'Angelo cutting that promo, kind of giving his explanation. Love to see that. Again, with the birthright, I think they are really cooking with that. I can't wait to see it. Ariana Grace gracing us with her presence as always, giving us a great performance. I loved it. So Ruka and Zarya, that whole situation. About damn time. Come on, Sean. Let's split them up. Let's get it going. And then, of course, that ladder match, man, great, phenomenal match. Was an absolute banger. Did I want to see Keanu Carver win it? Of course I did. Would I have been okay if Ricky wanted to? Oh, yeah. We love some pretty Ricky Saints now. Pause. And but I believe in Joe Hendry. Now I just hope this isn't one of those situations like how they did my girl Indy Hartwell, where she won the title from a ladder match and then she drops it the next week. Please don't do that to us. But I think for Joe, I think this is going to be good. This is going to be solid. And I think they got enough heels for him to go up against. So I think this is going to be a good run for Joe Hendry. And this actually solidifies more of what they want to do. From last year, Mania, it's like the man got RKO'd, had that match at Mania with the TNA champion. Now this year, look at you now, Joe. You got the NXT title, and we all got to believe and wave our hands from side to side. Heartbreak Prince, what's your thoughts, man? What you think?
I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head already with NXT. My only thing I wanted to hit on was is Joe Hendry winning the NXT championship. I was a little. It was kind of it was an odd feeling when he won because I expected Ricky Saints probably to go over and be the champion. So the fact that he actually went with Joe Hendry is cool. It's just, for me, it's just funny because it's like, come on, WWE, this is y'all being WWE. I said, this man had the TNA title and you made him lose to a WWE wrestler. And then when he finally comes into the fold of the WWE, now he could be a champion in the, for WWE. And so it's just kind of odd. And I know it's like, Joe Hendry's an excellent, is an excellent worker, excellent, wrestler. So, people are behind him and things of that nature. And you're trying to pay him back for the work that he did, this past year in his, prior to coming into the WWE, as far as being a professional, coming in, losing the TNA title to Trick and all that kind of stuff. But I mean, it was good. It was good to see the payback. I can't be mad. It's Joe Hendry. We all love Joe Hendry, so I'm excited to see what his run will look like under the WWE umbrella. And I got to give it to those guys. They put together one hell of a match, but my highlight goes to Ricky Saints, who was right there at the title before Joe Hendry, grabbed it. Had the opportunity to just get the belt, but could not resist being Ricky Saints and had to hit him with the
Yep.
on the ladder. Like the belt, get the belt first.
And then he hit your pose. Yeah.
And then he loses. So yeah. But good stuff.
Yeah, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. Yeah, NXT was a great show, a great watch. And I'm really excited to see what they do. And shout out to Robert Stone, being the new interim GM for NXT. Sean telling Robert, look, it gets chaotic, but I like it that way. I said, Sean, this is why we love you.
They said interim. I'm like, who could they possibly be looking at to be the GM, to be,
that's what I was thinking too. Who knows? Maybe. I don't know, man. Could be AJ Styles for all we. I don't know, man. They always like to get the wrestlers. Always to get a former wrestler that's maybe, I wouldn't even say past their prime or done in the ring, and they bring. Hey, this might be a long shot, but if the Never Seen 17 was the GM for NXT, that'd be crazy. That'd be. I don't even know how that would even compete. Like thinking about that, I'm like, yo, who really could be the GM? Because if you're the interim, we know you're gonna be replaced soon. So I don't know. We're gonna see what happens, man. Ooh. But we talked about the great things that happen with NXT. Now it is time to talk about the best part of the end of the week with Friday Night Smackdown. Smackdown, man. If it's one show I look forward to every week, and I'll be mad if I gotta work, it's SmackDown, man. It really is. I love how SmackDown has been going. I love how SmackDown has been. With Drew being the champion, it's been amazing. Trick Willie. Come on, Trick, you're killing it. Everybody on SmackDown, I think, is hitting on multiple cylinders. And I've really been loving this, man. And I ain't talking McDonald's. They kicked this off, okay? My man, Drew McIntyre, man. This was good stuff here. Drew McIntyre, okay, happy, smiling, getting ready to celebrate. He got the win over Sami Zayn. Oh, but that was very short-lived because Cody Rhodes came out, started beating the hell out of Drew McIntyre. And I ain't gonna lie, Cody cut a pretty fire promo. All right. Said a lot of stuff. Said a few things. I ain't even gonna lie. They said, he's on this path to get into the Elimination Chamber, trying to get to WrestleMania. Then he even said if we had a measuring contest, he said you wouldn't even be able to put me in it, and that's the reason why they call me Raheem. All right, Cody.
You talk about CM Punk and Roman Reigns having a measuring contest.
Yeah, measuring contest. Yeah. And he said,
that was dope.
They don't call me Raheem for that. I said, all right.
That was dope. That was dope.
I said, yeah, all right, Cody. I'll give you that one. That was good. See, and this is what I be talking with Cody. I be feeling like he shows breaks of that real American nightmare, like that heel form in ways like, what was it, the last week or 2 weeks? Like that promo he cut against Jacob Fatu when they had that sit down. I said, oh yeah, you want all BS with this. I like this. And I like what you're doing, Cody. I like this side. You get me back into you again. Pause. That was crazy. But but I said, all right, Cody, you're getting interested again. This is what I want to see out of you because this is what I know you can do. So yeah, this was good. I love this. But that Raheem line, I said, Yeah, bro. I wonder who the hell
That was
wrote that
good.
one in. I said, who
Yeah, that
wrote
was
that?
good.
Who wrote that?
And the crowd went nuts. That was pretty good though.
Yeah, because you know they was in Charlotte. So you know how that was
Yeah.
going to go. I said, man, this was all right there, man. But let's talk about this next match because this was another banger right here. Okay. Look at this, man. We have Rhea Ripley and Io Sky going up against Kiana James and Julia for the tag team titles. Now, this was another banger of a match. Hey, shout out to my girl Kiana James. I feel like they ain't giving my girl enough credit. She's killing it. I love the promo that they cut right before that. Julia going complete Japanese and then Kiana doing the translate. I said, man, this is good. I loved it. I loved it. But yeah, this was a banger match. I will say, when it comes to entrances for Rhea and Io, I hate how they kind of be doing my girl Io because it's like the crowd gets so hyped for Io's entrance off rip, and you can tell the aura is there, and then it's just all right. Let's go to Io. Let's go to Rhea. Let's just put it on Rhea. Focus on Rhea. This is her music. This is her. And I'm like, yo, this just kind of takes. I feel like it takes away from Io. Like I don't know, man. It just like come on, come on. I don't know, man. It's like she can't do it to my brutality. You can't do that.
Yeah.
It's obvious she can't do it because the tempo is just. I don't know. It's small things like that. I just be like, nah, man. Nah. I love Rhea though. Love Rhea to death, but yeah, I just don't think that's fair to Io, man. They got to do something with that. But let's talk about this next match, man. Come on, man. You see who it is, man. You see that. You see that little knee brace right now, even knee brace. His little man. What is
Knee pad.
Yeah, there we go. I don't know why I couldn't think. You see
I
the
got
knee
you.
pad,
I got you,
man.
bro.
It's really him. Okay, we seen who her is, and now we're seeing him. Okay, we had Carmelo Hayes beating the Miz as he should. Okay, the Miz was trying to talk to Ilya Dragunov before that, trying to say, I deserve a title match. I made Melo. Melo said, "Look, you're not going and making no matches because I'm the champ, and what I say goes." I say, "Yeah, Melo, talk that, talk that." I love how he sounded. My man sounded confident. Loki sounded a little arrogant, and I love to see that off of my man Melo. And I like what he said. He said he gonna get the job done and put down the Miz. I said, and you did that, Melo. Love to see it. Then we flash forward. Oh man, another banger of a match here. Okay, this was another banger. Tiffany Stratton. I ain't gonna lie. This, you know what?
Free time.
Tiffy time, man. It was Tiffy time going up against Lash Legends and Chelsea Green. I ain't even gonna lie, man. As soon as I seen Tiffany in this, I immediately
You already knew what time it was. Literally, it's Tiffany time.
Florida.
You gotta be kidding me. Damn.
Cuba.
Just 1 minute. Oh,
You gotta be kidding
I never
me.
thought.
Man, I was low key. I was low key upset. I ain't even gonna lie, man. I ain't even gonna lie. This one low key kind of pissed me off. Because like Chelsea Green was killing it in this match, by the way. And the big Lash, come on. You seen the work that woman was doing there. I said, man, come on, man. Tiffany time.
Do it.
No.
They can't
BS,
do it.
man.
They can't do it. E. It's just crazy. They do not view Chelsea Green as anywhere near the level of any of the what they would say top stars. Like she's not even. Tiffy time above Chelsea Green. Like I'm like, well, who isn't above her at this point? Like Alexa Bliss, she ain't gonna be able to beat Alexa Bliss. She's not gonna be able to beat Charlotte. She's not gonna be able to beat Bayley. She's not gonna. So it's like they just cannot do it. No matter how much the fans vibe with Chelsea, no matter how much we push for Chelsea, they supposed to listen to the fan. They cannot do it. And then Lash to be in this situation as well. And we get Tiffy time. Like, tell me what fans or crowd that's going crazy for Tiffy time. Like, nothing against Tiffy. Tiffy's okay, but like Chelsea Green, everybody responds to this lady. They love Chelsea Green, but they cannot do it. They cannot do it.
And then you seen how the crowd reacted with Lash. Even when she came out, got a pop. I said, come on, Lash, what are you talking about? Cheers. The whole damn match. I'm like, yes, Lash, kill it. Do what you do best. Y'all couldn't make that call last minute? Yeah, we know we're going to give this to Lash. Yeah, we're going to give this to Chelsea Green. You can do that. We know. We've seen it on Unreal.
We're going to get the same people, the same type of people back involved in WrestleMania again. Like, it's just the way it's going. They cannot do it. They just refuse to say, hey, we're gonna do something different here. It's just gonna be safe, man.
No, for real. And it's like, every time I see Tiffany Stratton, I'm like, well, she's in the WrestleMania commercial, so she's got to be in something. And to me, it's like, I feel like Lash would have been better to put in that Elimination Chamber. You already had her doing so much in the Rumble. She's done stuff in the tag team matches. So I feel like this was a match to showcase her again and go crazy. I feel like this would have been perfect for Lash to have her throwing women through the freaking through the little glass. That would have been. I feel like that would have been Lash's spot, or one of those misses punches and punches through the whole thing and knocks the whole thing off, because that's the big Lash. No, we're gonna go with Tiffy top. Why? So she can jump off the top of the cage. I'm not doing it, man. I'm not dealing with it. I'm not for it, man. I didn't think this.
Okay, let's just really quick, E. Who do you think the other women are going to be? Let's see if you can guess what the elimination chamber is going to be, and let's see how it plays out.
I think for me, it's probably going to be Charlotte. I think Charlotte probably is going to be in it. I think Alexa Bliss is probably going to be in it.
Yep.
It would not shock me, but I would still love to see it if the man Becky Lynch popped up. I'd love it. It probably wouldn't. Like, I feel like a lot of the women that we seen in that Mania commercial is probably going to be in that.
Yeah.
Shoot. Besides Liv, I can see a lot of those women being in that Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
Like 100%. And I don't know, man. I don't think they're gonna do nothing different for this elimination. I mean, don't get me wrong. We've been saying that. Put out the APB for her, man. I don't know. Man. I mean, and then I think to myself, because they might do this. You know how they always try to do like a redemption match. Like, oh, okay, well, these 3 women or whatever lost, so we're going to give them. Maybe Lash might pop back up in there. And, but again, I can possibly see Nia maybe being in there, because I feel like you got to have, I was going to say a big girl, but you got to have just a big Lash or a big Nia. You got to have somebody that can come up in there and dominate, wreak havoc, cause chaos, and just go crazy. So I don't know, man. But that's how I feel. I feel like it's gonna be a lot of those women we've seen in that commercial, and maybe possibly Nia or Lash. Hopefully, we'll see, man. This is it's ridiculous, man. It just be killing me. They can't. Let's talk about this next one, man. Come on. Oh, man. First of all, Kid. Kid Wilson.
Phenomenal booking.
I loved everything about this, man. Kid Wilson, okay, came out talking about the toxic masculinity of 30 men. Toxic. And the crowd was actually following up. I said, you know what? He's got something with this toxic thing. He's completely over. He's got it. But then coming out, and then after, to the point where you see Obafemi. Okay, Obafemi coming out. And I loved everything about this, man. Obafemi coming out and honestly having a dominating match against Kit Wilson. I mean, this was great. I don't even think Kid had a chance to even take off his ring gear. Okay. But this was good, man. This was good. This was dominant. I love how Oba Femi looked, being the ruler, just going crazy nonstop. I said you went crazy on Raw, but you went even crazier on SmackDown, man. This was great. I loved it, man. I loved it. The promo that Kit Wilson cut,
That was good.
that was really good. That was really good. And then ended it off with the ruler. Come on. You want to
Yeah.
talk about the toxic? That's the most masculine man you didn't see
The
in
man,
the fight.
yes, sir.
So
Yes,
I
sir.
loved it, man. I noticed one
Yeah.
thing. I don't know if you peep. You know how like lately when Over go crazy, he starts spitting water. He's
Yes, which is so dope. And it
I
just,
was like,
oh, I love it.
yeah,
I love it.
like
I
going
love
crazy.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
said,
love
man,
it.
this was good. I loved everything
Yeah.
about this, man. So yeah, this was good. I thought this was great. I love how Oba looked. I said this was strong for him, man. So yeah, keep doing what you're doing,
Overkill.
WWE, with this. Y'all are making this man really look strong and look built, and I can't wait to see what happens with it, man. This was good, man. This was good. Oh man, but then we got to talk about this man. This man, Drew. Okay, Drew. This was good stuff here. Drew McIntyre, of course, coming around, okay, talking about everything well, he was about to
For a
come out
second time.
for a second time, and the man with the magic boot beating the hell out of Drew McIntyre, to the point to where they had to send Jacob backstage, send him home because they didn't send Cody home. Nick Aldis said, "Look, I'm gonna tell you the same thing I told Cody. If you want to get into that elimination chamber qualifying match, you need to go home for the night, and I'll see you next week." Jacob Fatu said, "Hell, okay, okay." Then pushes one of the good old security guy. I said, "Man, this was funny right here. It was good though. This was good." Then we flash forward. Man, I ain't gonna lie. This was a really good match, and this is like some New Japan type match we're talking about here. We had Tama Tonga beating Shinsuke Nakamura. Now, this was a really good match. This was a banger right here. I love to see what Shinsuke was doing. Look, Shinsuke coming back out with the classic red pants. Come on, he coming back out with the red gear. It's got to be something for Shinsuke, man. I ain't gonna lie. They might be doing something with him. The last few weeks, he's been kind of active, so we're gonna see what happens. Oh man. But then we flash forward to this right here. This this was good. Okay. Liv Morgan, first of all, coming out. Nick Aldis is trying to, find out, hey, what's your decision? Are you going to be choosing our champion here? Liv. Okay. Liv, man, I love the last everything. Man. Liv, you are killing this. But Jade was telling Liv, I don't care if you pick me, and if you do, I'm going to beat that ass. I said, damn, Jade. Yeah. Yeah, Jade. And then she looked at Raquel and said, what the hell are you looking at? I said, whoa. Okay. Okay, the big woman talk. This is what I like right here. But then Jordan Grace comes out, and she says, look, if our champion ever finally decides to face me for that title, it'll be me you'll be facing at WrestleMania. Liv started laughing. The type, I said, oh man, you hit somebody, you hit on somebody. Yeah, man, come on. That's just disrespectful right there at that point.
Disrespectful, man.
You don't give a damn about what anybody talking about. But then, okay, Liv talking about I'm the greatest Royal Rumble winner of all time. Jade and Jordan telling Liv to shut up. Man, I said, oh, y'all crazy. Y'all are crazy. This was good. And it got to the point to where it became a match, a tag team match, with Jade and Jordan Grace going up against Liv and Raquel. Now, what was interesting about this match, in between, okay, we see Jordan Grace getting the pin on Raquel, but the only reason why that happened, okay, Jade, when she got tagged in, was getting ready to hit a super kick on Raquel. Raquel moves, hits a super kick on Jordan Grace. And then Liv comes into the mix. We think Liv's going to help Jade. No, Raquel moves out the way. And Jade moves out the way, and Raquel hits Liv with a big boot to the point where Jordan Grace gets the pin, and they get the dub over Raquel and Liv. And I thought this was very interesting. Again, we are putting in the nuggets and putting in the time, okay, for this storyline. And I think this is going to be really, really good. But then we flash forward. Finally,
The third time.
finally, I guess that's the charm for him. Man, finally, Drew McIntyre comes out. Okay, he's talking about his defense, with Sami Zayn. He said he's done, beaten, gone. I said, you right, Drew. This is what we've been asking for. Thank you for beating the lovable loser. And then he also talks about Roman and Punk. And he said, it's funny how y'all like to take jabs at me. He said, it's okay. Y'all can talk about me all you want. He said, but I know for a fact that this is the most prized title. I said, come on, Drew. Talk about it. Talk about it. And he says, Roman, it's okay if you want to face Frail Phil. I said, yeah, you're right, because they don't want to face a man that's 6'4", 280 pounds. But if we want to talk about somebody that's 6'4" and 250 pounds, come on, man. You know who it was.
Boom,
Come on, man.
Boom.
Come on. And they called him. It's 1-800-TRICK. First class trick. Hollywood trick. 2-brand trick. First class trick. Trick and A. Trick Willie. Come on, man. Trick.
Don't forget his one from the other week. He said the W. He go to his website WW, which stands for Worldwide Willie.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Man, he's killing this, man.
Worldwide Willie.
Worldwide Willie. Man, come on, man. I love
all because he traveled over to Saudi Arabia. He worldwide. This dude is hilarious.
He's killing it,
Worldwide
man.
Willie.
Worldwide Willie. Man, he told Drew, he said, look, you talking about everybody else, but you need to be talking about Trick Williams. Okay. I said, man, Trick, you killing it with this. Came out with the white mane. But Drew, talking about, you interrupt me again. You interrupt the champion again. I'm going to put those lemon pepper steppers where the sun don't shine. I said, all right, Drew.
And the camera panned down to him.
His shoes. Hey, I ain't gonna lie. Them shoes was clean, boy.
They were clean. They were gold tip.
Them days was clean, boy. I said, yeah, boy. This was good,
gold tip lemon peppers on.
Man, he killed it with this one, man. I loved it. And let's go ahead and talk about this main event because we're going to talk about everything in the whole, man. All right, we had Solo Sikoa, okay, Aleister Black, and Randy Orton having a match. And this was the Elimination Chamber qualifier match. And we had that man, Randy Orton, getting the dub over Solo and Aleister Black. And I love what Solo was doing in this match, by the way. But this was the finish right here. Man, yeah, man, I ain't gonna lie. SmackDown, y'all had me entertained from start to finish. I love this whole episode. And again, we've been saying this before. SmackDown has been the better show on the main roster because of the people you got, because of the stories y'all been telling. Look, I love the tag team match that we seen with Rhea and Io and Kiana James and Julia. I love to see the Ruler going crazy against Kid Wilson. Okay, and honestly, they done got me even more interested and intrigued with the story with Jade and Jordan Grace. I think this might be Jade's best one so far. But, of course, besides the whole Naomi thing. But I'm like, all right, Jordan, you're killing it, girl. You got me. You're killing it. But yeah, man, look, I love how Drew getting his ass whooped this whole night. I mean, couldn't catch a damn break. Getting his ass whooped by Cody. Then you getting your ass whooped by Jacob. Then finally, when you get a chance, Trick done came out and said something to you. So I love to see it.
Roman and CM Punk were right. Everybody's beating up on Drew. This is a rough week for Drew.
It really was. It was a rough week. I mean, besides everybody talking about you on Raw, Then everybody trying to get their hands on you on SmackDown. I thought this was crazy. And Randy Orton, man, I love to see Randy Orton in this eliminated. The fact this is 10th one. He's had the most Elimination Chamber appearances. I said, man, 10. That's insane to me. But I loved it. Solo, by the way, Solo had me cracking up throughout the whole match. Just him imitating Randy doing. I said, Solo, this is why we love you, man. But yeah, this was a great, great episode of SmackDown. I love everything that they did with this. Again, y'all cooking. Hey, Road Dogg, if this is all you, bro, I'll give it to you. You not to know what the hell to do with Chelsea Green, I ain't gonna give you a pass on that. But you're doing great on everything else, and I'm proud of you, man. I'm proud of you. Heartbreak Prince, what are your thoughts, man? What you think?
Yeah, I think you summed it up really good. SmackDown was definitely the better show between Raw, at least between Raw and SmackDown. Entertaining all the way through. Love the build, with Jade and my girl. I can't think of her name right now, but the feud that's kind of brewing between those two. And then of course, Drew McIntyre, him trying to come out 3 different times and, and get on the mic and just getting beat down all the way through. But I did like when he finally was able to talk in his third promo. He kind of addressed the thing about the belt, but I also like how he addressed everybody in the back and talk about how they're trying to make SmackDown like the stepchild, and he won't let it happen. And then Trick Williams, I want to give WWE their flowers on this and their credit on this too. They're doing a really good job with his booking as well. Obafemi's booking has been phenomenal for the last, at least this last week that we've been actually seeing him on television. But they've been doing Trick Will for the last month that he's been up on the main roster, month and a half or whatever. And I really appreciate that, and I just can't wait until things start to get serious and really heat up with Trick going after some type of a title or whatever within the WWE. I don't know if it's going to eventually get to him and Mello, but that's going to be a good feud that they can have two going in the future as well. So yeah, it's a good thing they got going right now on SmackDown.
Yeah, man. Yeah, they really got something really good with SmackDown. I really think they like when it comes to this. I think SmackDown has been the better show. Shoot, at this point, they ought to be on Netflix for real. In my opinion, I feel like they've been more entertaining. They've been having the better storylines. The people they've been utilizing has been great, and even the
Great.
people that they have, I think they've been utilizing everybody well. So, yeah, I agree, man. I agree. I think they've been doing it very well. And again, and
Yeah,
that's what I say. I feel like out of the week, it's always been NXT and SmackDown being the better shows.
yeah.
But for Raw, I feel like Raw had it was good at the end. Like the best
At the
part
end
was the end.
was
Yeah.
at the
So
end. Yeah.
yeah, and not when the credits came up. It's just it was just the best part because of the segment with Sam Punk and Roman.
Yep. CM Punk and Roman and the Raquel and La Primera match. Like those two things were probably the best highlights, for Raw this week.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. But as always, please make sure y'all follow all of our social medias. I tell y'all this all the time. Y'all already know what it is. Facebook, we on that. X, we on that. Instagram, we on that. TikTok, we on that as well. Hey, appreciate all the love and support y'all been giving us, man. Look, we tell y'all this all the time. Keep liking it up. Keep sharing. Keep throwing in those contents. And we're going to give you that content the exclusive way. Come on, man. Y'all already know what it is. Come on, man. Oh man, but we talked about Monday Night Raw and some of the things that happened with that. Braun Breaker, the whole shenanigans with the Vision. Raquel and Liv, and of course, killing it at the end with Roman, CM Punk, and seeing the appearance of the Ruler over Femi, boy. And we had to talk about NXT. Chef Sean always cooking it up with NXT. The greatness of my girl, Lonnie, okay, and what she's been doing. All right. Seeing everything that's been going on even with Jada and Blake Monroe, because, they was throwing hands outside. Okay. I thought that was crazy too. And of course, what was going on with Joe Hendry, him winning the NXT champion. Great stuff. And of course, can't forget the birthright. So y'all better look out for that.
I'm
man.
really liking that. I'm really feeling that. Pause. But yeah, I like the birthright. I think that's great.
Yeah, yeah, man, I love it. And of course, seeing what's going on with Soul and Zarya. So we'll see what happens with that. And we had to talk about the best part of the end of the week with Friday Night Smackdown, the greatness that's been going on with that, with Drew not even being able to catch a break, seeing the man with the magic boot, Jacob Fatu, the actual real American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, seeing the greatness that's been coming out with Jade Cargill and Jordan Grace, what's going on with Get Wilson, okay? And seeing what happens when he comes across a real masculine man like the actual ruler,
Toxic.
the Obafemi. And of course, we had to talk about everything that happened with, everything that was going on with Hollywood Trick, First Class Trick, Two Brand Trick, Tricking that. Come on. Trick Willie, 1-800, whoop that trick. Man, I love to see it. But as always, I'm your humble host, your man, your myth, your legend, Eric Knight. We had the one man and the only man that can check into the Heartbreak Hotel. That's the Heartbreak Prince himself. Because we are the exclusive Knights, and we always ensure that we're the best there is,
Best
the
there
best
is,
there was,
the best there was,
and the best that ever will be. And to ensure that your nights will never
They'll never
be the same. Y'all be good, because at the end of the day, that's Trick.
That's it. Get Wilson.